Hello, friend. This is Ryan Hicks of TalkToProfit.com, and today I want to talk to you about treating yourself to the abundance of God. Oftentimes, when people are heading towards success, they may not have any kind of experiences of that success as they go along. What I mean is, if they're putting off having a nice thing now for the future, they're putting off having that nice experience now because they want to save a little bit of money into the future. And while that can be wise, I'm not talking about vacations and buying houses and cars and stuff like that. I'm talking about little simple things. Maybe you give yourself a 20-minute break and go walk around a beautiful park. You know, a park, if you had a park of your own, it would cost millions of dollars for the land and building all the trails and the upkeep. But if you live in a normal civilized land, parks are part of the experience of being a citizen of that country, a citizen of that area, that state, wherever you may be, a citizen of that city. And you can experience something that would have cost you millions of dollars to build for yourself, and you can go experience it for free. It could be something like a meal. Perhaps you go to the store, there's a particular food you want, but you don't buy it because it costs a little bit more than what you're used to. Maybe you invest a little bit more money to have that better meal that you would enjoy. Now, like I said, this does not have to be just about spending money. That's not the idea. The idea is to enjoy some of God's abundance. If you're able to go through a park and you can enjoy nature and see God's infinite blessings all around you, that's a blessing. And each day you can reward yourself with little things because you're doing so well, because you're so productive, because you're so successful. Doesn't matter where you're at. You got up today and you started doing something, that is success. You are successful already. Maybe you're not where you want to be, of course, but you've already established some success for the day. And if you follow what I mentioned in a previous video about starting your business day, your work day, doing the 3 most important things that need to be done for that day to get you closer towards your end goals, you've already started in great success. Because most people aren't doing that. They're putting off those harder things. They're putting off those things. They may not even do them at all. There may be zero effort put into things that are going to actually get them closer to their goals each day. And that's pretty average. But you've already done that. You've already had, or you're at least working towards that. So you're getting greater success. And that is a success in and of itself to even be doing that, because that will put you light years ahead of most people. It will put you light years ahead of where you are now, because that really builds upon itself and is exponential in the returns that you will get from it and the blessings you will get from it. You know, God rewards that. God's no respecter of persons. You see these people with billions of dollars and you think, oh, it's unfair or whatever. But the reality is, if you did the same things they were doing, the same way they were doing it, you would get the same results. Now, there may be time and chance and opportunities that they took and the positions they were in at the time that obviously can't be duplicated. You can't start a Microsoft with Windows and stuff like that, because that time's already passed. The main operating systems are already here. Now, maybe you could create something better, but that's not the point. Whatever you are given to do, whatever you are blessed to be able to do, you can excel in that. But as you do, make sure that you are enjoying some simple experiences of God's abundance. That you aren't just putting off all the experience of God's goodness to the future. It could be something very simple like a cup of tea, but maybe you buy the cheap store brand and there's a better quality tea that you could get that would be more enjoyable for you. And the reality is, each cup of tea is only going to cost a few cents anyway. So why save a few cents on your tea to get something that's not as enjoyable when you could have something that is more enjoyable, more an experience of God's blessing and abundance in your life for the price of a few pennies? I think every day when I wake up about the goodness of God, and I'm so thankful for the breath of life, another day to honor God with my life, to do my best, to do my all. And that's such an honor and such a blessing. But I don't let God's abundance slip by me. I'm not talking about just monetarily, but all little things. I can enjoy something simple that I enjoy. It could be petting the neighbor's dog. It could be petting my cat. It could be anything. It could be enjoying a book that I wanted to read, and I invested a little bit of money to get it. These are simple things you can do, simple enjoyments, simple pleasures in life that are the blessing of God. Ecclesiastes talks about this, about the gift of God is the man who's given the power to get wealth, he gets riches, he gets abundance, he gets success, and he's given the power to eat thereof, meaning he can enjoy of it. He can live from it. He can experience it each and every day. What good is there in having an abundance of things, material possessions, but you can't enjoy any of it? As Jesus said, what profit is there if you gain the whole world and lose your soul? That soul level of experiencing the goodness and grace of God is not something you should pass up, not something you should put into the future, not something you should say, well, I'll experience that at a later point. Because you may not have the later point. You could be, if you're doing that, like that rich man who tore down his barns to build bigger ones to store everything up. He's going to stop working. He's going to retire. And yet God said, thou fool, this night thy soul is going to be required of thee. He didn't know about experiencing the goodness and grace of God. He didn't understand about continuing to progress in life. That you don't just set back and retire. You don't set back in laziness and stop working, stop producing, stop being valuable in the world. But while you do all those productive things, there are simple joys and experiences of life that you can go through each and every day. Maybe it's spending 5 or 10 minutes more with your kids, playing with them, having some time with them. Maybe that could be the experience that you need to have. But don't let another day go by where you don't have something that is a reward for your success, something that is a reward for all your hard work, all your smart work, something that shows you more of God's goodness, shows you more of His grace, that really enlivens you and is a true blessing for you. And my friend, maybe it could be watching a video like mine. Maybe my videos are a blessing for you. Maybe they renew within you and edify you in the faith. If that's the case, then watch one of them. Obviously, don't get distracted to where you're just binge watching my videos and you're not doing productive activities. But if that can be a blessing for you, if that can be something that shows you some of God's goodness and grace, then go for that as well. But whatever you do, take some time today. It doesn't have to be long. You don't have to spend any money. But experience some of God's goodness. Experience some of His infinite abundance in your life. My friend, I pray this is a blessing for you. May God bless you richly.